Southern Illinois, Cal State Fullerton, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, BYU, and San Jose State with Baylor in lane 9. Baylor will have on their anchor Nathaniel Ezekiel. He went 45-40. The Big 12 runner-up Baylor, they're running in lane 9. Razorbacks, they're in lane 6. TJ Tomljanovich, he's been 45-27. The Razorbacks with the number 1 time in the world. Alabama has the number 2 time. And Arkansas with the first exchange. That baton does not slow down for the Razorbacks. Lance Lang, he went 20:04. He had the fastest qualifying time in the 200 meters, went sub-20 in that qualifying. And Lance Lang for the Razorbacks already with a ticket punched for Eugene, Oregon. And Lance Lang running really well here on this second leg. It's the Razorbacks with Brigham Young and Baylor. And Baylor moves up. Baylor on the challenge with the Cougars of Brigham Young. And for the Razorbacks, Stephen McElroy. McElroy, one of the fastest ever to run at the University of Arkansas. For Brigham Young, running this third leg, Trey Jackson for the Cougars out of Provo, Utah. It's Arkansas, BYU with Baylor, Oklahoma, San Jose State, Nebraska, Cal State Fullerton, and the Southern Illinois Salukis. And here comes McElroy. McElroy down the straightaway, running well. An outstanding 4x400 relay for Chris Bucknam. And these Arkansas Razorbacks, and taking that baton is James Benson II. And James Benson now goes on the backstretch with Brigham Young. And Brigham Young running strong. Benson coming up on the 200 mark. Half a lap to go for James Benson II. The top 3 from each heat plus the next 3 best times to Eugene, Oregon. And track and field fans, bring these 4x400 anchor legs, bring them home. Give them some support, shout it out, be loud and proud at this meet. James Benson II for the University of Arkansas. A 3:01.83 for the Razorbacks. BYU 3:04.21. Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, 3:05.55. That's Jordan Smith of Oklahoma State, Dominic Yancey for Texas State, Nin Matlock of Kansas State, Jaden Davis for Arizona State, Dylan Leacock of Houston, Luke Dry of Colorado, Ethan Williams of Washington State, and Ismail Turner for UCLA. And down the stretch here, in the Sun Devil goal, the Arizona State Sun Devils make the pass. Texas State on the inside. Running for Texas State is Brian West and Caleb Simpson for Arizona State University. The Sun Devils and the Bobcats. The Sun Devils of the Pac-12, the Texas State Bobcats of the Sun Belt Conference. That's Blake Wynn for Oklahoma State, Brian West for Texas State, Eugene Amala of Kansas State, Caleb Simpson of Arizona State, Joshua Sims Waddy of Houston, Ian Gilmore of Colorado, Grant Buckmiller of Washington State, Miles Meisner Daly for UCLA. And here we go, third leg. For Arizona State, Nicholas Ramey, Avery Bisick of Texas State, Houston, Kansas State, Colorado, Washington State, UCLA, and the Sun Devils still your leader. The Sun Devils out of Tempe, Arizona. The Sun Devils and K-State from Manhattan, Kansas. Here is the anchor leg. For Arizona State, Jaden Davis, he's been 45-49. Eugene Omala of Kansas State. Omala in the low 45s. And a battle will take place with 150 meters to go with Arizona State and Kansas State. The Pac-12 and the Big 12 battling in the last 100 meters. And ASU, the Sun Devils from Arizona State University, will win heat number 2, Kansas State 3. And the Sun Devils at 3:02:45. Kansas State 3:03:15. UCLA, they'll be third at 3:05:04. So Iowa, USC, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Texas, UT San Antonio, Illinois State. Texas A&M in lane 6, currently the 4th best time in the NCAA. They went 3 flat 38 at the Southeastern Conference Championship. A&M will have Ahmad Robinson on the anchor. He's been 44-91. That's Texas A&M in lane 6. On the outside of A&M is Texas. So it's A&M and Texas. 1 and 2. The Aggies and the Longhorns. For the Aggies, Cutler Zamzo, Brian Herron for Texas. Texas Tech. That's Charlie Bartholomew for the Red Raiders on that excellent carry for Texas Tech. On that 1, 2, 3, and 4, running really strong on the backstretch and close. Texas Tech moves to third, challenging the Longhorns. A&M still strong in the lead. Now your 1, 2, and 3 stretching it out, distancing themselves from the rest of the field. Down the straightaway, Texas A&M, coached by Pat Henry. Texas Tech. And the West Kitley Red Raiders make the pass over A&M. Texas running third. 336, 237, 238, 239, 240. Top 3 automatically qualify. the Red Raiders, the Aggies, and the Longhorns down the straightaway, bidding for the fastest time here. And Texas A&M on the anchor for Texas A&M, Ahmad Robinson. Outstanding. An incredible 4x400 relay won by the Aggies out of College Station, Texas at 3:01:22. Coach Flo's Texas Longhorns go 3:01:53 and Texas Tech at 3:01:58.
Fastest 400 in the country this season. Florida third at the SEC Outdoors. In this event, Arkansas went first, Alabama second. They've got Hales, who is the 11th fastest in the NCAA this year in the 400, as one of their leadoff runners.
If you don't watch track and field too often, I'm going to explain to you how the outdoor 4x4 works. So first runners are going to be in their lanes all the way around. They will then hand off to their second runners in the same lane, and that second runner is going to run all the way around the first turn and cut in at the cones. That is what we call a 3-turn stagger here in track and field. And then everyone else after that is going to be fighting side by side to be able to win this 4x400 meter relay race.
Mississippi State doing a great job of making up the stagger here early on. South Florida's Trayshawn Bowie trying to hand off first. His handoff so critical right here. You have to have him inside your zone. South Florida going to have the initial handoff. And like a missile, Javon Powell of Florida has quickly pulled the Gators into the lead.
Now let's see what happens at this cut-in. Obviously, Florida is going to be just fine, but pay attention to everyone else in paint and just look at how they're taking the long way to catch Florida. That's how you make sure that you can get as close to the front runner as possible without tripping over anybody and wasting any extra energy.
Here comes South Florida coming in that lane number 2. Right now, Florida, South Florida, and Pitt. Georgia close behind. Mississippi State in 4th.
And pay attention to this pack right now, because I also want you guys to look at what's going to happen during these handoffs, okay? Everyone thinks that handoffs are only important during the 4x1. Although they might be a little bit more important, it's important in the 4x4 as well too, because if you guys are all coming through together, whoever can get that handoff clean and first, they're probably going to have the best chances of getting to the front of the pack when it's time to take off.
And that positioning so critical.
It's so critical. And it's also great for times and stuff as well when you're talking about splits and the overall, time that the team is going to run. One of my coaches used to tell me when she was running back in college, they broke, 5 seconds off of their 4x400 meter time just by getting better at their 4x4 handoffs.
Florida with the first handoff. South Florida not far behind. Mississippi State with a successful handoff. These were the 3 best teams coming in, and that is how it is shaping up. Final lap here in the 4x400. Can South Florida track down Florida? And South Florida and Florida battling on the backstretch. Mississippi State trying to hang on. Pitt a distant 4th right now. What a battle at the front right here. Tags flying off as these 2 missile down the home stretch. Florida has the lead, and the Gators will take the first section of the 4x400, advancing to Eugene, as does South Florida. Florida runs 3:01. Alabama State in lane 2 could be a dark horse as well. They've had some great results here in Lexington.
Set.
And the second section of the men's 4x400 meters underway. And Caitlin, you talked about it on the last section. This first 400 so critical for success.
Yes, your front runner has to be able to set the team up for success. They will all run in their lanes all the way around. It's looking like Kennedy Leitner is running really well, and the athlete from Penn State is looking good too.
Kayla, what goes into the strategy of setting up a lineup for the 4x400?
The thing is that the 4x4 is all about doing what's best for you and your teammates. So honestly, I don't even think too much about the 4x4. The only thing I'm thinking of is, can I get my teammate the baton first? Because really, that's all that matters.
Well, Kentucky has the first handoff. Battle right now between Kentucky and Penn State. Here's that three-quarter stagger that you were talking about, and here comes Alabama.
That runner from Penn State is Patrick Abel. He was actually at the World Relays running for Guyana, and he split a 45 on their relay. So don't be surprised if you see something great out of him. Not to mention, he was injured for a little while and did not have as much time to practice in the past couple of weeks. So if he does something great, who knows what he's going to do out in Oregon.
Here comes the move from Tennessee. Alabama looking really strong here in that second leg. The Volunteers charging hard. The Kentucky runner has slowed down, trying to get to the line next. It will be Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, and here comes Alabama State.
I told you those handoffs are so critical, because you could be in 5th place and still get the first handoff and you will be just fine. Just fine.
Alabama building some huge distance here. Could we see a facility record today from the Clemson Tide? 3:01:19, the facility record.
He looks like Alabama looks to be being chased down by Clement Dukas. I know that he has definitely got a target on Alabama's back, considering, you know, he did get beat by Chris Robinson today.
So it's Alabama and Tennessee first and second, Kentucky in third. Alabama State trying to hang on right now for fourth. Need a good handoff here. And one lap remaining, the anchor leg. Alabama has the lead. Can Tennessee track them down?
And just to point this out again, you saw how big that gap was, but once they got to that handoff, look at how quickly it closed.
So Alabama trying to put up a huge time here in Lexington. They're going to need a good close to pick up a facility record.
Penn State is also looking to get that 3rd place spot, racing against Kentucky's Brandon Miller. Chekna and Brandon are going to be fighting for 3rd place, but it's who's got it more.
This could be the faster of the two sections. Here comes Alabama down the home stretch. Facility record 3:01:19. Will it go down? It's going to be close. And it's Alabama at the line, and it's a new facility record for the Crimson Tide. 3 minutes flat 63. A huge time for the Crimson Tide, and they show why they are one of the best 4x400 units in the country.
Yes, and then we'll have Penn State rounding out our top 3.
The final 3 spots in Eugene on the line. LSU out of the blocks well, out in lane number 9. Clemson chasing. This is what you train all season long for, a spot at the national championships.
UPenn is doing a pretty great job at breaking up the stagger as well.
They've run 3:06:23 so far this season.
They'll be looking to improve on that.
Here comes Clemson. First handoff, so critical. Clemson Tigers trying to be the first handoff.
And they will be.
Clemson looking strong here early on, and that helps your confidence.
Yes, because you don't have to worry about too many people coming to get you, but we will have Campbell looking to make a charge towards the front.
Campbell now in the lead here. Their fastest time, 3:06:40 on the season, and now they break to that pole position on the back corner.
And right behind him is going to be Cameron Miller's Purdue. He's an amazing 200-meter runner, so you just got to know he's got that 400 speed in him too.
Here comes Purdue. Will be tight at the handoff. Right now, Campbell, Purdue, Clemson in there, LSU.
And Miami's coming.
And Penn, Virginia Tech, tightly bunched right now.
These handoffs are going to be critical, everybody. Let's see what happens. It can get hectic out there.
And it's Campbell. Miami in second, LSU running in third, Purdue, followed by Clemson, who's making a move up into fourth, now eyeing third.
LSU falling back just a little bit, but it's looking like Clemson is going to run right next to them.
Top three advancing automatically to Eugene, and then you look at times.
And here we go with LSU with 150 meters left to go. He is trying his absolute hardest to pass up Campbell right now. Miami is sitting tightly in third place, but Purdue is going to look to track them down as well. Campbell's still out in front, but it's going to be coming down to the handoffs with how close they are.
Here comes Purdue. They've moved up into third. Good handoffs across the board. Campbell's going to have the lead at the bell. Can LSU track him down?
Campbell has got one of the best SEC schools in the country following behind them right now, but as you can see, they are trying to put some distance in between themselves and LSU.
Purdue currently running in third. And the Fighting Camels punch their ticket to Eugene. Here comes the late charge from Virginia Tech.
That is Judson Lincoln that is running for Virginia Tech, and we already know that he has got some monstrous speed on him.
And here comes LSU. LSU takes the lead on the home stretch. This will be tight.
Campbell still has the chance. Who is it going to be?
And it will be LSU coming from behind. Judson Lincoln claws Virginia Tech back into third. LSU runs 3:01.74. You need to beat 3:04.17 to advance. LSU and Campbell have advanced. Virginia Tech is through. Purdue will be through as well. And Navy will get through. Rather, Navy would be left out. Purdue would make it in, which would mean that Kentucky, who was on the bubble, would not make it to Eugene.
Yes.
Those are the unofficial automatic qualifiers in on time.
Extremely close there. LSU battled, and Campbell putting together one heck of a fight to finish second. You get a look.
That was amazing from Campbell. You know, we already talked about how most of the best runners in the country come out of the SEC. So for Campbell to put together such an amazing 4x4 is absolutely stunning and amazing.
Had a great time, spectators and fans.
So Campbell comes in second. LSU takes it. The final qualifier in the field will be Pittsburgh. Kentucky sitting at number 13 will not make it in. Purdue was able to edge him out in that final section. So Alabama, Florida, and LSU, the top times in the field.